Hello, it's a Saturday night and we're doing a cat video. Hi, Lily. No, we're not doing a cat video, even though it is for the internet. And isn't that why the internet was made? For cat videos? Maybe it was made for porn. I don't know. I forget.
Cat and porn. And sometimes cat porn, but I don't want to meet those people.
I haven't even heard of that. Let's not talk anymore. Anywho, it's coming up to NAB 2019. And I just thought I might just whip out a quick video with me and Joseph here together, talking about that. Hey, that cat, it's going to pounce anywhere. And yeah, although, you know, it is a Saturday night, so about 20 of these South African ciders, which are pretty sweet, into that. But yeah, NAB in Las Vegas, it basically is our biggest expo, trade show, convention we have for our industry. And yeah, Joseph himself, you know, he works from industry as well himself. I mean, like, some of my earliest videos back when I was trying to be a DOP was us two working together.
Yeah, some good times, good learning experiences.
But back years ago, I mean, he's still focused on the directing path, but since then, you know, last few years I kind of shifted my focus a bit. And like these days, of course, I'm very much being a sound recordist. But yeah, back when we first met, I was being a DOP, which was yeah, we've still done a few things now and then. Remember, like last year when we were drinking at your place on a different Saturday night, we actually made that like fun little skit spoof video, basically just the two of us, and I was doing both camera and lighting and sound, and you acted.
Directed and edited.
Yeah, you were both actors in the film, and you were directing it as well.
Yeah, that's
so especially the fight scene was quite complex because you were fighting yourself.
Yeah,
so
punching myself, then I had to combine the
that.
shots togetger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a timing thing, but it worked. Yeah.
Anyway, seeing as we're over at Joseph's place tonight for a few drinks, which I thought I can use his gear. So normally for my vlogs, I just use my Panasonic G6 with my Aperture A-Lav running straight into the camera. But for a change, I thought I'd use his gear. And yeah, we're still sticking with Panasonic though, because I do love Panasonic. He's using a Lumix GH5. You know, you were using the GH3 for quite a few years, and you really liked that.
Well, it was just what I had. You know, didn't have a lot of money, but eventually I managed
for its price though. The GH3 was pretty awesome.
Oh, it did what I needed it to do. Yeah, but I've since worked my way up to a GH5, which is even better.
Yeah, maybe a couple of months ago, go the GH5.
Yeah, a few months.
Along with a pretty sweet editing machine to like do the 4K footage.
Yeah, got all the gear I need for now. It's good.
That, anyway, so yeah, so we're using his GH5 for this quick video, and we're also popping on top a like there must be like the original video mic from Rode. I think it's maybe not the original one, but it's one of definitely the older ones because you've had this for a long time, back when you had the GH3.
Yeah, I got it when I got my GH3.
Yeah, so this is one of the original video mics from Rode. Not like the later ones, like the Video Mic Pro and whatever. Anyway, doing this in my Aperture Lav because there's two of us talking, I don't know, and we're so close to it as well. We'll see how it turns out, this sound. And also this mic that we're running straight into it, because we're so close, because I'm actually using the SLR Magic 8mm f4 lens, which, you know, I normally do my vlogging with for the last few months, because I really do like that lens, because it is quite a very affordable, very compact lens, and it's super wide angle. And so I actually recommended to Joseph to buy this lens. So we're actually using the same lens as I normally use, but his copy of the lens.
Yeah, it's good for real estate filming, which I do.
Yeah, because you last month or two, you've been doing quite a bit of real estate videos. So obviously, when doing filming real estate, you really want to give
you want to get that space in there, so wide angle.
You want to feel like the house is bigger than it actually is. So yeah, 8mm f4 SLR Magic is perfect for this. Anyway, let's talk about NAB. So NAB is starting in a couple of days' time from now.
Okay.
And yeah, one day I hope I can go along to it. But we've already heard like quite a few of the pre-announcements or like news leaking out. I thought I might like run over some of that, you know, news is particularly exciting. So I reckon the biggest of all the news has come out is the fact that Sound Devices, which is, you know, definitely the most well-known and sort of almost industry standard of sound recorder brands that we have, just announced the Scorpio. And Scorpio is basically the latest generation, because I guess for a while now, for quite a long time, especially over the last 6 months or 18 months, people have been really hammering and going like, where is the next generation of recorders from sound devices? Where is the successor to the 788T? I mean, some people might say the 688 is a successor. I mean, I reckon the 688 is a successor. But, there's some people that go like, no, it doesn't quite meet my needs in this or that area. I'm still waiting for the true successor to the 788T. And the 788T has been like, over a decade. It's really been a long time. So some of those owners are still waiting for like their next like high-end recorder coming up with sound devices, and especially with sound devices bringing out the Mix Pre series, Mix Pre 3, Mix Pre 6, Mix Pre 10T, and of course all the M versions for the musicians, M3M, 6M, 10M. They've literally brought out 6 distinct different Mix Pre devices for the consumer to buy. I mean, they've brought out a lot of products. So some of those high-end people are like, why are we like seeing all these low-end devices coming out from sound devices? When are they going to bring out something for us? There've been so many things coming out for the low-end people. So they've almost been feeling a little bit abandoned. So, meanwhile, of course, the competition hasn't stood still. So, Zaxcom, for instance, has brought out their Diva 24, which is, their high-end premium devices full of, like, amazing magic tricks. And Anton brought out their Cantor X3 a while back, which is, again, like, premium devices. And so I guess people were left going, like, should we keep on waiting to find the true successor to our 788? Or should we jump ship to one of these other companies? People were really wondering, like, is sound devices abandoning us? So there's quite a few rumors floating around in the last few months that actually, yes, it's okay. Sound devices are going to be coming back and, like, bringing out a true, like, super pro, high-end premium device just for us. And I myself, like, I was kind of digging around Sound Devices' like website, trying to see if I can like get in little small hints and clues before they announce it. Because like the way I like found out, I was one of the first people to like even know about the Sound Devices Mix Pre 10T, because I actually noticed like a little small piece of code in their website that was hidden away, referring to Mix Pre 10T, and I could really like figure out like, okay, they've got like a new device, it's a Mix Pre series, but it's a 10, so that must refer to 10 channels, because the 3 and 6 are referring to 3 and 6 channels, and the T must be referring to it's got an inbuilt time code, unlike the 3 and 6 that didn't have inbuilt time code generators. So like, I got quite a few bit of clues just from the fact that like, just looking like the metadata that was hidden inside one of the web pages on Sound Devices' website, just digging around. So like, I've actually been digging around Sound Devices' website like last week, just trying to see if I can get any clues. And like, I saw a reference to an 8 series, and I was like, oh, is that what's going to be called next? I kind of thought that there was one coming out. I thought it was going to be called the 8 series. But no, actually they just announced yesterday, or the day before yesterday. Well, it depends on what time zone you're in. I mean, I'm in New Zealand, totally different time zone to America. But in my sense, it was like super early yesterday. So yeah, like I went to bed at about 3 a.m. because I was hanging at a friend's place, and I kind of woke up to go to the bathroom at about 5, and a few hours later, and when I checked my phone, I was like, oh shit! They just got announced, Scorpio! And like, I didn't go to sleep at all, so I got like this much sleep, because I was like, oh, exciting! Just reading all the news, talking with friends, and it's like, that's exciting! Because it is, basically, like, when it comes to like, sound recorders that have been announced this year, and Sound Devices Scorpio is, I think, going to be the biggest announcement we've got.
Oh well, something to look forward to.
Yeah, and so it's definitely, I mean, when it comes to form factor, it's very much like the 688. So, I mean, I think it actually weighs maybe like a few hundred grams more. It does have quite a higher power consumption though. That's why they changed the power input from a high-rise connection to like this TA5 connection, I think it is. So some people complain about this, like, what's wrong with high-rise? But no, it is a really, really small change in power connection, because this new power connection actually gives it the extra amperage that the Scorpio requires, because it's got like a whole new processor and it's doing a whole lot more, so it needs extra power. But also, the change in the power connection also allows it to also work with smart batteries. That I guess back in the days of, maybe not 688, but definitely back in the days of 788, the smart batteries didn't exist. So you've got much more communication, so you can find out from these smart batteries that people like Audio Root produce. So I think it's actually a very, I mean, like, what's the extra cost of an extra power cable? I mean, like, as much as we hate having to buy more cables all the time, I mean, fuck, like the other week, I just spent like $500 on like a whole bunch of more cables, different kinds of all the different things I want to need your backups for. But so much we hate, always constantly buying new cables. I mean, I think this is a reasonable electric cable when someone who's buying a Scorpio needs is instead that sort of TAA5 whatever connection they've got. And so because not only it needs to upgrade beyond the high roads to get the extra amperage to be able to power all the extra stuff that the Scorpio does, it also gives an extra like connection that allows you to communicate with your smart battery to get the extra info on the display of the Scorpio. What's it going? And so anyway, one of the things when you've got the super high end that the Scorpio is aimed for is that you don't just have the NPF batteries to be powering it. I do kind of wish that people would use BPU batteries instead of NPF, because I'm really like a big fan of I use BPU batteries to power my own bag, and they're basically like another Sony brand battery, but they just have the check light on it, so you can press the battery light on it and you see how many bars you've got left in the battery.
Oh yeah, I like that. It's good.
Yeah. Rather than the NPF, which you're probably like, you've had LED lights that are powered by NPF batteries. They just slot in, and it's kind of a bit, they're just really dumb batteries. They don't have any more info on it. But I guess, because the batteries that actually slot in and into the camera itself, into the sound recorder itself, you always get the voltage level, so you know what's going on with it. But anyway, I use BPU batteries. I just kind of happened that way because I own a Sony F3, which is powered by BPU, just like the X1, X3, FS7, FS5, whatever, all powered by BPU batteries. And then, so back in the day, like, I just found a battery plate for my sound device's 552, so I was paying my 552 off a high-rise connection from a BPU, and then when I bought the F4, I just carried it on, and then I got my F8N and still carrying it on. And I got like heaps of them. I should really talk about some recent BPU batteries I got that just got a D-tap and USB on it as well, so that's kind of handy. So there was actually a hunting show I was doing a few weeks ago, and my phone, well, not this, it's iPod Touch. My phone went flat, so I just used the USB output to pop up my phone batteries. There's handy in the field.
Power.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like, I'm an Android guy, but unfortunately the Zoom F8N, F8, they use an Apple app instead. But so you might count this like a negative against the F8. But in reality, an iPod Touch, a second-hand one of these is like $50-$60 American to pick up on eBay. So like, why not? So I've just got that, and I've got a dedicated device, and I also got my technical sync at one. So this is basically just like my work device, and so it's kind of nice almost having like my cell phone and my work device separated. So this is always charged up, and I can be using my cell phone. I know that the stuff I need for my job is here. My technical app and my Zoom app is here. Anywho, I was getting sidetracked from when I was talking about Scorpio. Talking about sidetracked, let's just look at the cute.
There you go, the cat's returned. You're saying?
This is why we make videos, right, for cats. I mean, that's how we're going to become the next Philip Bloom, just like filming, cats, right? How long have you had that cat for?
I've got her in late January, I believe.
Oh yeah, you've just only had a few months this year, that's right. I remember you talking about that actually now.
Yeah. Still young.
Anyway, back to Scorpio. So in a way, I kind of see it as like a sound device 688, but the Mark II version. So it gives you a whole bunch of extra features. For instance, you've got Deity coming in, which is basically this digital over like a LAN connection, like these computers are hooked up. But actually on the top of that digital, this is probably the weirdest thing that I find odd about Scorpio, that I don't understand, and maybe I don't like about Scorpio. It's like, why does it only have 2 AES inputs? AES being like a digital input. So it just has 1 and 6. I mean, initially I was kind of half thinking, was that just like a typo? Was that not meant to be like 1,6? Maybe it was meant to be 1-6, 1-6, not 1 and 6. Because surely they mean like all like 1 to 6 must be the like digital inputs AES. But no, they actually mean like just 1 and 6. So there's only 2 AES inputs. So, I mean, somebody who buys Scorpios potentially, this is like maybe the 10-year recorder. They're going to be using Scorpio for the next 10 years. When you look at people who have like a 788, I mean, they've probably been using it for the better part of 10 years. Hey there. So you really got to be like looking into the future. I mean, like, screw looking into the future. Even right now, most high-end current model Pro Wireless have the option to output an AES, digitally that is. So if you're receiving, your signal, and then why do you want that extra step of converting it from digital to analog, to then feed into the recorder analog, to then convert it into digital? Just feed it straight from your receiver to your recorder in digital. Skip that stage. It would be much better.
Yeah, that's a tip for you. Alright, well, we're getting up to 17 minutes now.
Have I been rambling for that long?
Yeah, no, time flies. Well, I don't know. You may want to finish it up soon. I don't know. What do you think?
We've got another 17 minutes.
Another 17 minutes. Bloody hell. I don't know if my camera can hold all of that.
This is a good thing about the GH5. It's got an unlimited record length.
Well, no, but it's in 4K and my SD card has a limited amount,
Yeah, so there's a benefit of the GH5 versus my Panasonic G6 I would normally record this with, is that we're recording this in 4K. Yeah. Although, yes, to keep the data rate down, I did record it in 8-bit 420. On the topic, actually, of this, one of the, there's not just exciting news in the sound world that's coming out for NAB. Panasonic announced the G90 literally today, because I've got the Panasonic G6. The next one after it is a G7, and the next one after that is a G85. I mean, I'm quite a big believer in just like skipping upgrade cycles. So you have whatever thing you have, be it a camera or a recorder, whatever you think is after it, skip that, buy the next one afterwards. Because then you get a genuine leap forward. You're not just getting a small step forward, you're getting a genuine leap forward because you're skipping it. So I've got the G6, I want to leap forward to the G85. And so I've been quite watching the G85 prices on eBay, but I wanted waiting for them to drop down. And so what I'm really waiting for is for the G90 to be announced, which will then cause a crash, hopefully, in G85 prices on eBay. So I'm quite excited. Ow, your claws hurt.
No, Lily, that's not nice. Don't do that.
So nice, I've been really looking forward to the G90 to be announced. So hopefully I can really pick up like a super good bargain on the G85s on eBay. And then I'll upgrade my YouTube videos to always be in 4K. Well, it's not just the 4K, because the G7 already has the 4K, but it actually has like the in-image body stabilization of the sensor on the G85 actually like moves around. So even if I'm using a lens like we're using today, the Magic 8mm, that doesn't actually have optical stabilization, we still get like the sensor stabilization, which is especially good. So mainly my videos are not like this, talking on a tripod. I'm just like holding it and talking as I walk along. Anyway, distracted as I was by the G90 announcement today, which, it was mostly exciting about the fact that I've got a successor that I hope to bring the G85 down. So the G90, it was a good announcement, but I don't think it actually gave us much as Panasonic fanatics. I mean, we did move forward a new sensor from the old 60 megapixel to 20 megapixel sensor, which is the same as using GH5, so I guess that's a big thing that G90 has. And they did add Vlog, but it's Vlog with still 8 bits. So I'm not really a big believer in using Vlog when you record into 8 bits. I mean, if you record into a log format, it's got to be 10 bits. So I guess, the big thing, the G90 did get the headphone input. So especially as our sound guys, so that way you can actually like listen to what's being recorded. Lily.
Look at the shorts on the camera.
At least you can listen to what's being recorded as well. So, I mean, that's only in the past the GH series at the top, like GH4, GH5 has had. So it's kind of cool, I guess, that the G90 has now got the headphone option to actually listen to what we're recording. But as you can see, neither of us have headphones in, so we didn't know what we were recording, fingers crossed. Where was I going? It's backtrack because I was still talking about Scorpio. Because, yeah, Scorpio's a really big announcement.
Look at the damn cat. The cat's found my camera bag and she's just rummaging around in it. Like, oh, what's this?
I guess the camera bag is entertainment to somebody here.
Yeah.
Good value for money. Camera bag.
Over 20 minutes now. Alright, what should we...
So Scorpio. So anyway, it doesn't just have the MPFs. It doesn't just have the TF5. I think it's TF5 input. It actually has 2 of them. So you actually have literally 3 redundant power supply options. So one fails, you can switch over to another. So I guess it's one of the benefits of high end. So if something fails, you've got like backups going on. But another cool thing about this that I don't think I've seen in any other sound recorder is that those MPF batteries actually get charged by the external output. So it has like a built-in charger inside Scorpio. So anyway, I complained about the lack of AES. Because yeah, like, fuck, man, we're always gonna have wireless. When we just feed the wireless in, I mean, I guess maybe a workaround is you get maybe like an AES into Deity. People might like build that. Because basically, it's basically a 32 track recorder Scorpio. And basically 16 tracks like from the inputs on the recorder itself, plus an extra 16 tracks from the Deity input to give a total of 32 tracks. So, I mean, you might say that's utterly insane. Who's going to be recording 32 tracks in the bag? But I think that's the beauty of Scorpio. It's able to, like, do anything for everything. If you're just a guy that's just doing your boom and 6 wireless, 4 wireless, you can go out and do that with Scorpio. But the next day, you're going to be on your cart, recording 20 tracks, you can do that too. Then you're going to record an orchestra the week after. You know, Scorpio just covers all those things. I guess though, like, you know, I haven't yet touched the point of price. I mean, it's literally 50% more expensive than 688. I mean, the 688, that device is really, like, really expensive. It is, I think, the most expensive product from sound devices at about, yeah, $6,000-ish. Yeah, $6,000. And then Scorpio is 50% more expensive at $9,000 American. So as much as I wish I could pop out tomorrow and buy Scorpio, it's just not appropriate for where I am in my career, for the kind of clients I have, and for the jobs I do, to have a 9K, or where I live in New Zealand, it retails for about 14,000 New Zealand plus GST. So, I mean, well, yeah. I mean, my big goal for this year, I want to buy myself a van for myself for Christmas. And it's going to cost me probably, if I buy myself a nice good van, maybe a Ford Transit, a recent model, second hand, if I buy that for me for Christmas, probably about 14K. So I've got to think myself, like, damn. I could buy a Ford Transit van, or I could buy a Sound Devices Scorpio. I mean, what would
decisions.
What would it actually be better for me and the work I'm doing? It'd be owning a van, like a Ford Transit. And I can travel around, I can sleep in, and I can just pack full and just.
Hold on. Okay, well, no, hang on. We're getting into like 24 minutes now. Let's see. Really wrap this up. So give it another minute. What's your conclusion on all of this?
I think I picked the wrong person to bounce us off. We're just getting started, mate.
Getting started? I thought you just said 15 minutes.
So.
Oh, no, it's just getting late, man. It's like you don't want to get home.
I am from. So where was I on about? So yeah, so unfortunately it doesn't really make sense by Scorpio, but it's exciting as Scorpio is. What I think it is particularly exciting is I hope that maybe it gives an indication as to where Sound Devices is going in the future. Because I said, like, in the past, people who are 788 users were going like, are you abandoning us? What's happening with the direction of Sound Devices? Well, Scorpio now shows where the direction of Sound Devices is going in. They're going to make products. They're going to be amazing like Scorpio. So this is like their flagship device. But I think they're going to make something like maybe a Scorpio Mini, which could be perhaps like a 633 Mark II. I mean, just like how we've got the Anton Cantor X3, and we've also got the Cantor Mini, perhaps they're going to make like a miniature version of the Scorpio. And so, because there definitely is quite a few things about the 633 that, like, I've been seriously thinking about the 633. I've got an offer of buying one second hand, but like, I almost feel like there are some areas it'll be a step backwards for my Zoom F18 if I buy a 633. Like the fact, like how short the character spaces are that you can use to name things. Only 9 characters. Like, fuck, that's not much description that I can talk about when I'm writing out my files. Or the fact that, you know, as awesome as the sound device's preamps and limiters are, on a 633 it only applies to the first 3. From 4 through to 6, we've got no limiters, they're just line level in. So, hi Lily. Anyway, I'm rambling on about Scorpio for a while. There's definitely a lot of more points. Oh, one of the things I want to point out about Scorpio is that the 688, people wanted like a control service for it. But like, Sound Device had originally planned for it. But they brought out the CR12, it was kind of like an afterthought that was using the USB input, but it wasn't originally intended for that. But the good thing about Scorpio, they have from the start been thinking about a control service for it. So they've got Icon. So they're actually just using sort of a Mackie protocol. So you could almost connect any Mackie protocol device to the Scorpio and be able to use it. But it'll be kind of at your own risk, you know, it might be a bit like quirky. But Sound Device is actually supporting Mackie to genuinely make sure that, the Icon, to actually work with that 100%. Anyway, let's come over all of the other products that are coming out at NAB. So Deity is a new company that's been really active in bringing out lots of new products. They're going to like properly, officially announce their new wireless and really be showcasing it and start shipping and selling it. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. The Deity Connect. The Deity Connect, I think, is possibly going to be the best option under 1K US. So at the moment, I reckon the Sony UWD11 is the current best option. Which is kind of the same price as a G3, but or G4 as it just replaces G3, G4. It's kind of the same thing. They haven't really improved it from going from G3 to G4. Yeah, so
27 minutes, going up to 30 minutes now. Crazy hell, man.
Interject whenever you want to actually make a comment about
you're
the
talking
product.
about stuff that I don't know about. That's the problem. Bring it to something I do know about, and I can do so.
Yeah. Anyway, as I was going to say. Yeah, Deity's got a whole bunch of products to announce. We're going to talk about the Deity Connect, which is basically got a dual channel receiver, and basically like you get basically two channels for the same price as like one channel of a G3, pretty much. They also bring a few other products, like they've just announced a lav. It's like super tiny compact, it's like 3mm wide. So that's kind of exciting. So you can kind of hide that lav in broad daylight, just like next to like a buttonhole.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I mean, like, why hide a lav when you have it open in the air? You know, it sounds acoustically much better.
All right, you got a final minute, then we got to wrap it up with a final minute. Go on.
Also, okay, Rode, who's definitely a big player in the audio world, but more known as their like low budget, good value for product stuff, just announced yesterday their Rode Media. What's it called? The Rode Micro Go? Anyway, you know, they've had the Rode links, which are definitely very affordable, but so many problems I don't like about the Rode links. I mean, I gotta admit, by myself, I did actually buy the Rode link when it first came out because I was just starting out in my early years. I was like, this looks exciting. Rode, I kind of trust Rode and it's cheap, I buy it, but that was a bad purchase. I kind of regret buying that Rode link. For one thing, they're so bulky and thick. But this new like Rode Go is very small and compact. It's so small, so at least they address that problem. But the problem is they've got an internal battery that only lasts 7 hours. It doesn't fit a proper production day. So it's inappropriate for the kind of work that we do. And also, they don't actually ship with a lav. So they've still got a 3.5mm connection, but it's not locking. So you don't want to put that on a talent, because the actor might very well just bump it loose. So it's just too much of a risk if it's not a locking connection. So between those two things of like being quite a short period, not last a full day, not being locking, I think they're totally inappropriate. But on a 200 US, I bet they're going to sell a ton of them to YouTubers, hobbyist students, and all those kind of people.
You almost done?
No, I've got quite a few notes here that I was going to talk about.
Oh, yeah, I'll leave you to it. How's that sound? I'm going to get a drink.
Well, one of us has got a drink at least.
Alright, should I pan it to you, or do you want to just move into the center?
I'm already here. I told you, there's no cuts in these videos. I'm just going to keep on talking.
Oh, yeah, but I got nothing to add to this stuff. You're going into these areas which, like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're basically, I guess, kind of the opposites here. I'm like a super big tech geek. Ow, those are really sharp.
Lily, stop scratching people.
Got, like,
bad cat.
She's got the sharpest claws.
Lily, no, you stop scratching people. That is a bad cat, okay? No.
I hope we get each of you as having a cat in the video.
Yeah, hopefully. But she keeps biting me. Why are you in such a biting mood tonight, eh?
Did you feed Lily?
Pretty sure I did. Yeah, I fed her before. Why are you biting? Stop biting. Be nice.
Ambient is like one of the biggest names in timecode devices. And Ambient just announced today, one of those pre-announcements before NAB, just announced a new Lockit. I mean, Lockit basically has become almost like Kleenex, or you know, it's one of those, or Velcro, like one of those words that's actually like a trademark specific word, but it's in a generic sense, just mean any kind of thing. I mean, a Lockit would just mean any kind of timecode box, but actually Lockit means specifically the Ambient ones. So yeah, so like I said, Ambient is like industry standard. So they just announced a new one. They're still going to call the Lockit, just like their past ones, but basically it's a much more smaller, compact one. But it's still like, it is definitely the smallest Lockit, but it's still like, it's kind of a little bit big. And the price is like $5.99 American or $4.99 American if you pre-order it. So it's definitely like, kind of like double-ish the price of a Tentacle or an Ultra Sync. So I kind of feel about the Ambient Lockit that, I don't know, I'm just not quite digging it myself personally. It just feels like a little bit overpriced and a little bit oversized. But yeah, the fact is, it is, if you really, really want a user replaceable battery, because it uses like, what are those, the MPF50, whatever, the same one as in those like super compact SSM electrosonics or the Fujifilm point and shoot cameras. So you use the same battery. So I'm kind of like glad they're using the same battery again. So maybe we can get that battery starting to be like a like industry standard. So but yeah, so it uses that really small like point and shoot Fuji camera battery. So if you really want to be able to replace a battery on the spot, that Ambient Lockit, the new one, is yeah, your best choice. But like, I don't feel that's the biggest feature that some other people might think it is, because like my Ultra Syncs 1s or my Tentacle Syncs, they last like 30 hours or plus longer. I mean, that's so much more than a normal 8, 10, 12 hour day. So, and they charge up by USB super quick, so I'm not sure that's the biggest feature. But still, you know, they got like timecode. Oh, they do have the feature though, you can hook up another input and actually see the timecode difference apparently on the display. I think that's a super cool feature. But yeah, I guess it's always good to have more options and more choices, diversity, and especially if you already own a lot of Ambient products, because like I said, they are like one of the biggest players in the timecode industry. So if you already own a lot of Ambient products, I mean, that's pretty sweet. You really got your big investment in all your cables that you have, don't need to rebuy different cables that connect with your timecode boxes. Definitely go ahead and check out their new Lockit. I've really got actually a video I uploaded a few months ago comparing the Ambient Nano Lockit, the Tentacle, and the Ultra Sync, because I had all three of them on a shoot a while back due to events. Anyway, enough about them. What else am I talking about? Zoom is bringing out a new product. So I mean, I am definitely so amazed by Zoom with the H series, H4 and the H6, H5, utterly, terribly, just the worst piece of just bleep, 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 bleep crap on earth ever. Avoid them like the living plague ever. Truly terrible. So I understand the awful reputation Zoom has had in the past, but with the F series, the F8, then the F4, then the F18 that I use now every week, they are truly fantastic. I really, really like them a lot. And so yeah, Zoom is now bringing out a new product, the F6. They haven't announced it properly, but I saw it on Instagram. Somebody shared a photo of it. So I'm really excited about the F6. So actually it's a new size and shape from the normal F4 and F8. It's actually smaller and more compact. The F6, I mean, I was kind of hoping for a super compact one to really properly compete against the Mix Pre 3 and 6, because as much as like I think the Zoom F series is much better, the one unique thing I love about the Mix Pre series is they're so small. I mean, oh my god, they're small. I think the Mix Pre 3 is almost like a big pack of cards. Like, it is truly small. But yeah, just overall, the F series is better in my opinion. But if you just want small size and low weight, maybe you're just a one-man band who's also operating a camera, you just want a small thing underneath, or maybe you're just doing a docker and you're running up and down mountains all the time, I mean, the Mix Pre 3 is going to be awesome for you. So I was kind of hoping that Zoom was going to be bringing out a product that could actually meet them in this area of being super compact. And the F6, from what I saw on Instagram, it does look like this is like smaller than F4 and F8, but it is not quite like super, super, super small like the Mix Pre 3 is. So I kind of wish they just like pushed it even further to get it extra small. But yeah, it's a new design. I mean, like, definitely looking, this is the big thing I'm looking out for at NAB. Like, what is the price they're going to be aiming this to be at? What's the exact specs they've got for it? Because it's got full 6 XLR inputs on it. So, I mean, that's even more than F4 has. So, I'm not quite sure where they're positioning it there in terms of price. It does look like it's just something they've got under development, so they might not have the full announcements. But like when they kind of gave us a peek at the F18, but didn't like properly announce it until like a little bit later. What else do I have to talk about? Let's check my notes I wrote here. Oh yeah, Orca announced a harness. So they already had like a harness with like this sort of metal spine that goes down the back. But like this new spine, you can like adjust it from here. And so, yeah, it just feels like you got more control over like properly sitting on you. And like the original one, you got like these funny features, like you got a USB charging port and shit. I don't know, I'm kind of happy, I guess, with my current harness. I mean, the harnesses are kind of expensive, so I don't think I'm gonna rush out and buy a new one. I've already got like 3 or 4 harnesses, of which 1 or 2 of them I think are pretty sweet. I kind of like them, so I'll stick with them for now. But yeah, definitely I'm looking forward to maybe somebody giving like a really in-depth, good review of the new Orca, what do they call it, 3S or something? Yeah, I want to hear about a really good review of it and think about myself, like maybe I could get one myself. With some other notes I've got here. Ursa, yeah, Ursa's bringing out more. So Ursa straps has been just like people have been loving Ursa straps, and but so yes, they're bringing out kind of like, you know how like sometimes when you're trying to like mount a transmitter, you might mount it on the back of like a bra strap, but some people like them not wearing bras for whatever. Maybe they're a guy. I mean, if they're a guy, they're not really wearing a bra strap. But maybe for whatever reason, you might be wanting to mount it up high. I mean, maybe perhaps they're like wearing a triathlon clothes. Like, I mean, I myself, I've got a crop top that I wear for triathlon racing. So you could be a guy and you can't mount it around the waist because there's literally like skin is exposed there. So you wouldn't be able to mount it much higher. So that way you've got kind of like this sort of like shoulder strap thing that you can then mount it up, pop it up high like that. So yeah, Ursa's going to be bringing out a new product like this. They're also bringing out like a new like head strap one. So like for people who do motion capture, you know, you can mount it up here because you kind of don't care about like lots of straps and shit up here because it's for motion capture. I would admit, when I actually saw Ursa Straps video of the new motion capture straps, with the head strap, I thought for sure it was an April Fool's joke because it was uploaded around like April the 1st. It's like, they're just joking, not really doing a strap that does around your head. Are you serious? But no, they're actually serious. It is a real thing. I mean, I understand there's a legitimate purpose for it, but it was kind of funny at the time, I gotta admit. Zaxcom's bringing out like a new UHF version of their EXR3. What else is coming out? What else did I write about in my notes? I kind of feel like I'm rambling on enough. Of course, there was the RE Mini LF. That was a really big announcement, because we obviously had the RE Alexa LF, the large format, and people were expecting an LF, so it's really interesting. And they, annoyingly, with the RE Mini LF, required us to buy a new timecode connector. But at least I think the thing I like about the RE Mini LF is that you've got like an inbuilt scratch microphone for once. Because man, I've bumped across a few people who have like done a show with the RE, not realizing they need some way to sync their sound files with it, and they haven't thought about it at all. And of course the RE is not recording any internal audio whatsoever if you're not feeding it. So those people are shit out of luck. So there, I guess this is one nice thing to say about the RE Mini LF. They'd probably save a few people's bacons. Man, cats are entertaining to watch as they dance around. Hi, Lily. Anyway, let's just wrap this up and say goodbye. I could talk much more about camera shit, but just kidding, this is sound stuff we're talking about. See ya, bye.